You can really push them and help them to discover new limits, their new capabilities, what they can do individually and as a group that maybe they didn't quite know they could do before.
1, 2, 3.
Been back with another light one.
My name's Eddie Keane. I am the lead under-18s coach at Colchester United. I joined Colchester just over 2 years ago now. I was working with Brentford, and when we restarted our academy we were looking for an under-18s coach, and I was fortunate enough to be working with Ryan Peters in the Brentford Community Sports Trust, and had a great season leading the first season back as an academy with their under-18s. Also doing some work at Maidenhead United as a first team coach. So I think there was a job that came up here as individual development coach that Paul Konchesky nicked me to, but I was fortunate enough to be appointed under 16s coach a couple of months down the line, and then get the lead under 18s role a little bit further on once Elliot had moved up to the under 21s, so a little bit of a journey. So generally the day starts with myself and Elliot. We head into the first team office around 8:30 or 8:45, depending on which day it is, to find out what players they want, which then will obviously impact what players the under 21s need for their training group. So then the under 18s are always sort of on the back burner a little bit in terms of planning and what we want to do. So sometimes it can be quite difficult to plan ahead exactly what you want to do on a training day or a match day in terms of numbers. But you always have a rough idea of what you're thinking, and then after that meeting and after the 21s meeting you can start to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So generally around 9 o'clock we're sort of on the right page and know what we're doing. Jay will then tell me exactly what he wants from training in terms of a sports science perspective. So things like total distance numbers, high speed, accelerations, de-accelerations, sprint distances.
Yesterday and Monday combined, everyone's practically at the same average of 10k, which is fine. High speed's low, sprint's low, so 220 high speed, 100 sprint. So I'd say in terms of today, no more than 3k.
Yeah.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
How long are you thinking your session?
Not that long.
Yeah, I was going to say maximum probably an hour, just because on feet yesterday was quite long. So just come off it today.
On 0 high speed.
Yeah, just keep it minimal really.
And then we try to put that all together into a training session that also gives the boys the tactical and technical development that they need, and to give us the chance to prepare for a match day.
Obviously I've got a lot of the first years upstairs, some of the seconds are nearly done, so I've got a lot to do, so I don't want to do some clips. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if I want to do some clips or something like that. They can do that, can't they?
I feel like doing the 131 and then leaving. Yeah. They don't see me again until 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Are you meeting there then?
Oh, I think I'll jump on at Beaconsfield. I'll stop in there.
Corners. We'll look at our ones from last time we played them. I thought some of our movement, our runs and our bits and pieces were poor, and we still managed to create chances against them. You said about how organised they are and how great they get into position and everything on their general out of possession play. And it's the same on these bits. They get in, they get their positions, they're really organised. So my personal preference is to do a general meeting that just looks at them, and we don't really talk anything about what we're going to do or any kind of planning or what we've seen from them last time, you know. So it's more just, this is what they are, let's have a look, no sort of biased opinions. Lou, anything while I waste time on this loads?
Yeah, just something to be aware of. If they leave the edge of the box free, what might that be a tactic for? Where are they strong? Transition. They're very quick as a front three. You've just seen one against Stevenage where the winger breaks out. He's quick, so even though we are looking at an area on the edge of the box, it might be that they do that because they're fast in transition. So if you are on the edge of the box or the ball does come to you, you've got to be aware of that and be careful that you don't take too many touches on the edge of the box because that could lead to a counter-attack, so it's quite important.
But it's something just for us to consider, and we'll go over ours in the dome. That I don't know whether they've now shifted their position back because of the extra numbers in the 6-yard box, those couple of yards, or whether it's just that it's an in-swinging delivery and they want to be a bit closer in compared to the Stevenage one was an out-swinging delivery. So we'll see that tomorrow. This is also another one for us to consider as the game develops. If you hear from us to send someone out, it may well be because they're a man short here, so man marked up, and then there's only 2 marking these 3. So then one of them runs inside, he gets taken away, and they just end up with a free player at the back. So because they want to go heavy on the zonal, they keep those 3 no matter what, then you're sending 2 others out short, they've ended up not having enough. Here's another one. This time he's on the keeper a little bit earlier, doing his job. In, header, knockdown, goal again. So they can see 2 against Gillingham from set pieces there. These were our ones. We do a couple of the runs okay, but a couple of us are not in the area we should be doing these runs properly. We don't all arrive in front of our zonal players correctly, but we still end up with good chances. Okay, really good chances. And there's going to be a couple where the runs are even not quite as good as that, not well timed, and we still end up with chances in areas. So you're over there, yeah? Yeah. Let's go. Let's go down the gym. You would hope that a lot of the work is done before the game, so hopefully with all of the prep that we do leading up to matches, the boys have an idea or clear plan of what's expected, both from the group and them as individuals. So in that sort of first 15 minutes, a lot of the time you're trying to just sense to make sure that the other team's doing kind of what you thought they would. And then if your plan is kind of working, we've started a lot of games quite well this season, and it's been the periods around half time and later in the second half where we faded a little bit. So we've been good at that side of things.
Good. I think Joe's getting here at 4:15. So do all your own bits you want to do the next 5-10 minutes, and then just aim to get pre-up done by sort of 10 past that. Fairly quick, so.
And then as the coaches start to feel each other out and make tweaks and changes to pressing styles and how you're playing, you've got to either make sure you've found ways to help the boys become more intelligent and solve the problems themselves, and if they can't, try and help them along the way during the game. If you do drop your intensity levels even for a couple of minutes, you can get punished at this academy level. So trying to make sure the boys are consistently giving everything they can, even through the tough moments, the tough times, through the depths of winter in the dark. Sometimes you just got to poke them along to be making sure they're giving everything as well, because they are still kids at the end of the day.
Still left your foot in the road.
No, this game's finishing and defending bit with you, and then a little bit of walkthrough. We move one of the goals, or probably both the goals, to the other ends.
Good. Good. Closing them up. Good. Now with your straight leg, opening the box. Back on the move then. Once you're in space, put yourself down, lunge, working on both sides.
we've got our triangles here. Partner yourself up a blue against the green, okay, and then go set yourselves up on one wherever you want. You down there, Lou, yeah, against Alex, it looks like. Dan, come play fella. Whichever side it comes through to fella, it must come back through a different side.
That's my point.
The ball cannot stop, so say it were to go a little bit further away, you need to get it before it stops. Again, you play back through a different side. Go on, fella, let's just run through one. Reminder, that's the bottom there where Alex Flo is, that Lou's just moved up from. Move round in a snake, and then the top is up there with Ronnie. Jay's on his way down. All the cones up, guys. All the cones up. Go put them in the bag, okay? You need to keep your bibs on. Greens, you can defend the far goal. Blues, you defend the goal up there, okay? It's going to be full width, full pitch, 8v8, no constraints. When you're in sort of the end of the YDP phase, that sort of under 15 age leading up to the start of the PDP phase and sort of 15s to 18s years, you get these boys coming out of growth spurts and regaining control of their bodies, and you can make really swift progress if you are guiding them technically in the right way and tactically in the right way. And then if you've got a committed sports science program and education as well, then things can start to come together really quickly for certain players, especially the later developed ones that come through during the season or later in the season. So you get to see a large amount of progress, both technically and tactically. And then the boys themselves are figuring themselves out, so you can really push them and help them to discover new limits, their new capabilities, what they can do individually and as a group that maybe they didn't quite know they could do before.
Wait, why is it only 3? Wait, it's only 3. It's up to you on the second.
Yes, it's that ball. I think it's also a fantastic age group for balancing a desire for the individual improvement of the players, and again focusing on those learning plans and the long-term goal of what we want them to be, but also with a desire to try and get some results and win, which at this top end of the academy and then leading into the under-21 starts to get more and more important. You know, we have really fortunate to have guys like Tom Flanagan watching the 18s games at home, or whether it might be Nicky watching or Danny at times. So they want to see players that can win as well, and then we're also focused on that individual development. So I think it's the perfect kind of age group for marrying that all together, so you get really good experiences throughout the season.
Look at your play. Bro, chill.
Yeah, you see, that's free. Where else? Yeah. Wait, is that a camera as well?
Okay, kickoffs. Just one from Stevish. Look at their setup. It's just the striker and right winger both on one side, left winger on one side. Otherwise, boring, bland 4-3-3 setup. There's really nothing to look at here. For clarity on our kickoffs, Dwayne will come up and boot out a play. It's two of the best I've seen this season, Dwayne. Really helping your giveaway stats there on Opta, mate. Fantastic. On our second ones, though, say if we were to concede, which is a big if because we haven't in the last 2 rounds, right? Then after that, we look to play. And we've done really good ones, Mumbo, right, where we just slotted through and run straight at their back forward. Remember those ones? So the logistics bits for tomorrow. Lunch is 12:30 here. You're departing at 1 o'clock. There will be a Brentwood pickup. Make sure you're on time. We're meeting at Beaconsfield Services is the second pickup. That's right where the M40 meets the M25. If you want to meet there at the Kassam, that is correct on that time. But then the meeting will be earlier. Just ignore these 3. Jay, pretty much food?
Yeah, so obviously if some of you boys are going back tonight, it's fine. Just emphasis on the 3 o'clock. Just please try and make sure you eat a carby meal at 3, purely because it will just fuel your body. If it's obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the game. Say it goes to extra time and you haven't eaten at 3, you just sort of, the energy levels will drop off, especially after the first hour of the game.
Especially if you're a sub, because you could be coming on in the 115th minute and you need to make sure you're fueled ready.
In terms of tonight, again, just make sure you're getting a nice carby meal, just sort of loading your body ready for tomorrow. Yeah, just prep as well as you can tonight. Minimum 8 hours sleep and sort of just try to get off your phone an hour before you sleep in.
Nice. If you need something, you're meeting at Beaconsfield, there is a Pizza Express there. Get yourself a nice pasta. Okay. Just got your rain there. We'll be in a home kit. I'm not sure. It varies week by week, just like with Wardy in the 21s, where sometimes you play teams that come out with really strong older groups, and sometimes you'll play against teams that maybe don't carry as many scholars and aren't quite as strong on the day, and then balancing whether you're home or away. We're also then trying to balance all the individuals and their individual learning plans, what we want for them to get from the games. Also, we're trying to get results in the league and trying to maximise the team performance. I'm really fortunate to work at a club where the academy management, especially in James McFarlane and Steve Ball, understand that the boys' performances and individuals and those guys improving has been really positive this year as well. So when we arrive, again, it can be a little bit chaotic. I think this season we've been really good at planning our arrival times and making sure that we're there that minimum of 90 minutes before kickoff. You don't want to be there too early because then there can be a little bit standing around for the boys and nervous energy can build up and they start to question things. You want to be there at just the right amount of time and we can be purposeful but get everything done smoothly. The moment we get into that changing room, the boys will drop all their bits and the first thing we like to do is just send them straight out of the changing room. Go get yourselves on the pitch. Some of them will walk around and visualise things, some of them will just stand around and have a chat together. As a group of staff, we'll get the changing room set up for the boys.
That's why we didn't want you in yet.
No, but I'll put them all out and then it'll go low. Yeah, but it'll go low now and put in. There's over there, mate. The bear's over there.
We'll put set pieces and bits out for them. Any further info for Oxford, we had a lot of info for them on setup and bits and pieces laid out. We make sure they've got prehab equipment there, so rollers, mats, bands, all of those bits. And then once we're all sorted and we've got everything done, they can come back in and then we'll get out and give them their space and time. And then normally an hour before kick-off, we tend to meet for a chat. The only thing I want to point out on the board, and this is something I spoke to Ronnie a little bit about, is that in the previous rounds when we've played this same shape, and normally when we play this shape on a Saturday morning, we play with Ryan Mumbo as the one holder and two in front, okay? Because today we're playing with two wingers, out-and-out wingers as our two wing-backs, what I think is naturally going to happen is we're going to end up with a little bit more of that shape, and Ronnie's just going to help Mumbo out a little bit more, okay? In terms of the game itself, there's only one thing I'm really after, guys, and I've said this before the previous rounds as well. We're a really good team, okay? Got really, really good players, and if we play to the extent that we can, it will be no trouble for us tonight. My last little bit would be those who are disappointed. I've said it as well before previous rounds. Just be ready. You never know who's going to be the hero. You never know who's going to get injured, right? Who's going to have to come on, James? What's going to happen? Make sure we're ready for the random and go get the job done. Nadeem?
Yeah, let's win.
Everything's up there. Again, come ask us any questions if you want. We're going to be out at past. All good? See you out there, guys. So for our warm-up, again, there's parts that we try to model on the first team. So they have a passing warm-up that's very, very similar to what we do with our two players playing forward and running forward. A lot of the season we play with two strikers. We play a formation style that's based on the players we have available and that suits the types of players that we have. So for a lot of the season we've played with two strikers, whether that be in a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2. So getting those guys in there for their early touches and feeling like they're a part of the team and a part of what we want to do. After that, and after Jay's done his warm-up prior to that aerobically, the guys head into me, and we tend to do a transitional possession drill where we stick a couple of the subs on the ends, and then there's a team in possession with players on the outside of the other two sides and players in the middle to link with, and the other team has all of their players inside the pitch trying to win the ball. And then when the team out of possession regains it, the two swap over. And then after that, we tend to split ourselves off into a couple of smaller groups. Either Paul, the goalkeeping coach, or on the Youth Cup day, Lewis, we're really fortunate to have with us, did some finishing with the boys, and then I'll take the defensive unit. We do some work, just a bit of chemistry, and then some of the headers and things with them. And then lots of them like to go off and do their own individual bits, whether that's throw-ins, corners, chipping balls into the channel, midfielders turning and playing out.
Finish. That'll do, stop.
Do you want to come out in the cold? Please skip back. You got an armband? Let's go down there. We'll ask.
Yourself out, twice through. Drive yourself through. Good. You're ready when you get back. Take him on.
My initial reaction was, Len, why are you overlapping Dwayne? Let Dwayne go on his left foot, and then to shout that on, and those little tweaks in those moments are hopefully important. It felt like it wasn't coming. It was a very even start to the game, but the boys was kind of delivering what we'd wanted them to do. And we'd spoken about the fact that we thought that their narrow back four would give us chances to deliver in those moments. Lewis and I have a great relationship. My girlfriend calls him my work bestie. He had everything organised brilliantly. There was a really good schedule. The boys were really focused, and ultimately that same group is the players that are now playing in the Youth Cup for us and performing for the 18s, 21s and first team, some of them. So I think we have a nice chemistry. I feel really confident leaving Lewis in charge of the boys at any point of the day. I know that at any point in the game I can leave Lewis handling the lads and go have a chat with Steve Ball, have a chat with the subs. Maybe have a little look up, some eye contact with Danny and some reassurance up in the stand, whatever that may be, and then come back together and off we go again. A couple of the moments we did get it to Dwayne, he put some great balls in, that one in particular. My immediate reaction is to let's go and try and get another, which we did have an extended period of pressure in that first half, but unfortunately weren't able to convert. How did I manage to pick up the players? If I'm honest, I'm not sure I have really. This is a result, especially for the second years, that you don't get over in the space of a couple of weeks. This is something that will stay with them for a long, long time. I think for the first years, and we've had a couple of 16s with us, like Oscar Roberts throughout this journey. I think it's slightly easier for them to get over it. You know, they'll get another go or another 2 goes at it, but for the second years, it's really, really difficult. The Youth Cup's a wonderful, wonderful competition, and they've had their couple chances. And although we had a good run this year, I feel like we all felt that we had another 1 or 2 in us. Ultimately, I don't think you pick them up and get fully over it, but the football industry is so fast moving and so demanding that for the boys to completely linger on it isn't possible. Away to Cardiff, and then there's always another game and another thing to be involved in, another game to prep for, to train for, to look at. So I think Roger Federer said it very well in a commencement speech at Dartmouth, that sometimes you got to fake a smile and get on with it, and champions are the best at getting through those tough moments and ultimately saying to themselves that it's just a point, but some points do hurt a lot more than others.